Walter flying colors splash. Pins and patches, stories grow. Stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat. Friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our life. Stitch by stitch they weave the tale. A patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello, everybody, and I trust that you can hear us and you can see us. And I'm just waiting for my monitor to catch up. because there's always a time delay, so that I know that we're... Yes, I think so. Just checking. Hello, everybody. Yep. Okay. Everything seems to be working at our end. That's good. So, welcome everybody, and let's see who's here with us today. Barb was number one.
Barb was number one.
She beat out Russ, but I think she came on here at about 8 o'clock this morning, or 9 o'clock, and Russ was quickly behind. Says, good morning, Stephen and Walter in chat. My pro tip for Christmas decorating: if you don't take things down, you don't have to put them back up. Russ, I know your Christmas tree is up, and that is not snow on the branches. Or Walter says, maybe you're like Miss Haversham. Where's the wedding cake? Let's see if he understands that reference. Susan's here. Hi, Susan. She's had a crappy Sunday where she is. Yeah, it's kind of a crappy day here, too. It started out today snowy, now it's rain.
Yeah, and when I went to do the driveway, the rain had totally permeated the snow, so it was heavy snow.
It's what we call packing snow.
It's good snow to make a snowman with.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Judy is here from Cold, Georgia. Julie's here. Hi, Julie. Suzanne is here. Caroline is here. And Dubrovka is here with Al, of course. They're from White Timmins. I'm sure Timmins has lots of snow. Mona is here. Charlotte is here. And Phyllis is here. And Heather. And Shadowwind. And Gloria. And Candace. East Coast Kim, which is Kim. And Marilyn. And let's see, who else? Oh, Jean E. Moosley is here. Karen B. 3382 is here.
Oh, Sue Norfleet.
Sue is here. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Hope you're recovering.
Better.
Hope we'll see you on Wednesday, Sue. Glenna Miller is here. And Barbara Yeldon is here. Barb Olson says, I was on here at 6 a.m. just because I couldn't sleep. Yeah. We have a common expression for that in my family for years. When someone got up real early, we said, what happened? You shit the bed? Yeah, we had a lot of cute little sayings in my family that only my family would get. Let's see. Judy says, I just want to know, I enjoy the medley that plays at the beginning of... Oh, just want you to know, I enjoy the medley that plays at the beginning of your live. Well, thank you, Judy. Yes, I wrote that with the help of AI. Actually, AI wrote it, but yeah. Lance is here. Hi, Lance.
Hi, Lance.
And Karen Lyles is here from sunny Vancouver, USA. I've come to really enjoy and sing along to your jingles before the show begins. Okay, it's a sing-along. Stephen and Walter live on air. That it's supposed to be live, but the AI didn't know the difference between live and live. It's supposed to be live on air, but it comes out as live on air. Well, I guess we kind of have to. It's not necessarily a lie. Quill says, you make a Miss Haversham reference as if I have some great expectations. Oh, he looked it up. He went to Google and looked it up. There's no way he ever read that book. He probably saw the movie.
I had to read it in school.
It's only like 800, 900 pages long. Great Expectations, yeah. I wrote it. I loved it.
You wrote it?
I read it. I wrote
You
it.
read
I
it?
read it. I read it. It was a book. I read it. Wild Rose Treasure is here. And Barb says, Calgary has lots of snow. The temp last night was minus 19. Well, you can keep it. It was minus, I think about minus
we're
3
always
this
hovering
morning.
around.
But we're hovering around
We're
0.
at 2 now.
The last week we've hovered around 0 to 2.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of wet snow.
Mm-hmm. It's slushy, it's cold, it's mucky.
People that don't live in this sort of climate probably think all snow's the same. It's not.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's not. There are different types of snow. You have to know your snows. There's powder. Skiers like powder. There's wet, heavy packing snow, as we call it. That's the stuff that you can make ice balls out of and kill people with when you throw it.
Well, or it can fall as packing snow, or it can fall as nice fluffy white snow, and then it rains on top of it,
And then it becomes packing snow. Yeah. So yeah, we have lots of types of snow. Then we have brown snow, which is called slush.
Oh, and I found some yellow snow on the deck.
Oh, on the deck.
Yeah, so we must have had a visitor on the deck.
Oh, probably a raccoon.
Yeah.
Or it could have been a squirrel.
Could have been a raccoon or a squirrel.
Someone piddling on our deck.
Yeah.
Little monkey. Yeah, and that's the one rule about snow too. You can eat snow, but never eat yellow snow. No, it does not taste like
also
lemonade.
don't eat black snows.
No, or don't think that when you're trying to make a snowball that the brown snow will help you, because not necessarily. Well, it'll keep the snow together, but when you hit somebody with it, well, you might say that shit hit the fan at that point. Let's see who else is coming in here. Gloria says I had to read Great Expectations in school too. Yeah. Teacher was always like Great Expectations if anybody finished it. Joan is here. Joan says hi. Happy Sunday from snow-covered 8 inches yesterday in Springfield, Illinois. She's ready for spring already. Ours was very wet snow. Yeah, and that's the hard stuff to shovel too, because it's really heavy.
And your snowblower usually doesn't work very well with it either. So
no. Well, Arda is here from San Diego. I'm sure it's nice there. Carol is here. I had to read Great Expectations during the 9th grade. It kept putting me to sleep. Yeah. I liked it. It takes a while to get into it.
I read it. I remember that's one of the few books I liked reading.
If you thought that was bad, try to read something by Thomas Hardy. Tessa the D'Urbervilles.
Yeah.
I
think I read that one too.
Well, I fell in love with it. I think I was the only one in my grade 12 English class that finished Tessa the D'Urbervilles.
I remember it was hard to read.
Yes, it is. And I've got a whole collection of Thomas Hardy books because I loved them. I haven't read them in years. I should go back and read them. But Tessa the D'Urbervilles is his most famous book, I think. It's the one that most teachers torture children with. Judy says, good afternoon. We had rain this morning in Hamilton, Ontario.
It rained for a bit here too.
Yeah, Dubrovka says, love that first song very much too. Always singing it at the beginning. Catchy tune. Josie is here from North Carolina. Dubrovka says, tried Al to dance to it with me, but the answer was no. Do you blame him? I don't. But not because he was dancing with you, but just because. Yeah, it's a man thing. Yeah, whatever. Okay, well, welcome everybody. I'm sure a few other people will be coming in to join us shortly. So today we're going to take you on a tour of the Christmas decorations and explain some of the things to you. So, 'tis the season. But before we get to that, let's look at what I've been working on, and I hope this is going to work. Yes, it did. Yay. So I finished this Christmas quilt. It's a pattern called Mistletoe by Chelsea Stratton, and the fabric that is in it was gifted to me by Julie, who's on here right now, a while ago. And I was waiting for a pattern that I thought would show it off, and I think this one does a nice job. It's not a huge quilt. It's pretty much a lap quilt. Now, my plan is maybe tomorrow. I cleaned up Lucy today, so I'm thinking of getting it on Lucy tomorrow and getting it quilted and bound and everything, and then it'll be done. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Now, do I need another Christmas quilt? Oh, no, I don't. But I do like making Christmas quilts because I like Christmas fabric. But yeah, so there was that. And this is nothing. These are bits and pieces. Actually, I have a few more bits and pieces of this table runner called
They
pine
look like
cones.
pockets.
Yeah, well, they're not. They are the scalloped edges. There'll be pieces in the middle. But I'm still working on these scallop parts because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 on both sides of these. So I had to make 12 of these, and they're different. Like they've got, you see C and then you see CR. CR means that's the same as C except in reverse. So you have to keep them straight. And there's panels that go in between those. Then you sew the whole thing together and you have a table runner once I put the batting into it and the backing as well. So don't ask me why I'm making a table runner, because it's not like I need another Christmas table runner. But I saw this pattern and it was on sale. It was less than $5 Canadian. So I thought, oh, okay, I like that. And then today I bought another pattern on sale for a Christmas sock, but it's one of those tiled seam like kind of things. And I really like its design. So, and kind of would like to make a couple of them actually. I don't know if I'll have them done before Christmas Day. More about Christmas Day because we've had a new development today. But the socks I have, which you will see that are on our fireplace, are a little kind of juvenile. They're cute, but we've had them for years now. I think we probably bought them at the dollar store. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been up to. And what's Walter been up to? What have you been? Well, you bought the fabric for.
Yeah, I haven't cut it out yet. I was thinking of doing that tonight, cutting them out.
Cutting out our shirts, yeah.
And then starting to work on them this week.
Well, that'll be good. So we showed the fabric on So Chatty on Friday. So if you didn't see So Chatty, why? Run. After this is over, immediately go and watch So Chatty. But we showed the fabric on there. Mine is penguins and Walter's is snowmen on it. It'll be fun. Let's see. Pace is here. Thank you, Dubrovka. And Judy's here from Southern Michigan. Lance says N. Okay. And then he says, I bought 3 tiling seams.
Ooh.
I think he means seams. But yeah, well, that'll keep you busy. Have you gone back to work yet, Lance? You might not have a lot of time for those. And Pam from Minnesota is here. Hi, Pam. She says, howdy. From Minnesota. Yes. And okay, so Christmas shirts, so that's all Walter's been working on. We've been very concerned about our kangaroo and Santa blow up outside because they go down at night after the power goes off, lights go off, and then it snows on top of them. So he's been out there. You've gone out there and cleaned them off a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah, it was the first time we've had one of those blow up things. And
yeah.
I would say, I think it's the last time we're going to have one of those blow up things.
It was a gift from our friend Philippa in Brisbane, Australia. She gave it to us last year when we were down in Dahlonega at the retreat. And so this year we're putting it up.
Well, it doesn't usually snow this early that fast.
What are you doing with your eyeballs?
No, I may have to sneeze.
Not on my screen. God, there's nothing worse than watching drippies running down the screen. Okay, so Monday. Oh, Lance goes back to work on Monday. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully you've recovered well from everything. I mean, you were looking pretty good when we saw you last on a Wednesday. So, Dubrovka says your Christmas shirt fabric would look great on me as an apron. Love it. As an apron. No, it's going to be a shirt, not an apron. Okay, so let's do some announcements. Sewing with me on Wednesdays, as per usual. Links in the show notes. All are welcome. You know, the Wednesday sew days are great days for catching up on those projects that you said you were going to get done before Christmas. And they're probably still sitting there and they're not done. Because I find when I'm sewing with other people, I get a lot more done for some reason. I don't know why it is, but I do. So Wednesday's a good day for that. So some other things coming up. Pop-up sew day will be on December the 20th. For those of you that can join us. I know busy time of the year and everything like that. But I did do a survey about that date because I was a little concerned that it's only 5 days away from Christmas Day. But people seem to think that was not a problem. So, you know, if you can join us on that day, great. I will put out the announcement for that and the link a few days before the 20th. it'll go into all my videos on, let's see, what would that be? The 20th is a Saturday, 19, 18, 17, 16. The 15th would be the Monday before. So everybody on my mailing list will get a thing in their email box about the link, but I'll also post it starting that day in all the videos for that week too. And then on the heels of that, on Christmas Eve, December 24th, we will be having a Christmas Eve social for a couple of hours. And again, the link for that, that'll be a Zoom. The link for that and all the other details will come out a few days before that. And it's just it's not a pop-up sew day or anything like that. You can sew if you want to. You can do anything you want. You can run around your house buck naked. Make sure your camera's off if you're going to do that. And, or, reorganize your underwear drawer or whatever floats your boat. Bring a drink. It's always better with a drink of some sort, whatever that may be. And, maybe you want to have a little festive snack, some kind of Christmas cookie or something, Christmas cake, or a whole sit-down turkey dinner if you wish. I mean, it's totally up to you with that. And then we're going to have another pop-up sew day on January the 1st, on New Year's Day as well. So lots of things coming up. It 'tis the season. And then we all crash. After January the 1st, that's when everybody goes into depression because, the excitement of the season is dead. And the bills come in. Yeah. Okay, so Chatty on Friday. This was a suggestion that came from one of our subscribers. She, I think, is going to be attending her first in-person retreat, and she kind of wanted to know what we take when we go on retreats or to sewing classes and stuff. So we got out our travel bags and took a look. My travel bag is always ready to go at a moment's notice. Instead of having to pack it and unpack it all the time, I have everything I'm going to take in the bag. But we went through that. We went through Walter's stuff because although there's an awful lot of overlap between us, he did have a few things in there that as a quilter I would never use. So we talked about that on Friday. And for those of you that maybe have never been on a retreat or something, or hopefully you got some ideas of what you might want to pack. Okay, so we just did our series of videos for the Missouri Star Quilt Christmas box, Advent box, the Jenny Doan Advent calendar box. I don't know, it's got many names, but you know what I'm talking about. We have opened it. We divided it into 5 videos. The first video will concentrate on day 1 to 5, so December 1st to December 5th. We didn't want to do any kind of spoilers, so that's why the first video will do the first 5 days and come out on December the 5th. So there won't be any spoilers for anybody who, is opening it day by day and, they want to be surprised. Mm-hmm. So my finger. So the first one comes out, that'll be this coming Friday, December the 5th, and then every 5 days after will be the next series of 5. So day 6 to 10 will be out on December the 10th, days 11 to 16 on December the 15th, etc. You get it. And the last 5 will be on Christmas Day. So you can wake up with us on Christmas Day to check what's in the Missouri Star Quilt box. We had fun opening it and everything. I hope you'll enjoy it as well. I know I'm going to get hate mail from some people because, well, I don't want to do anything that might spoil it. But for us, that's all I'm going to say. You'll find out what we mean when you see what's there and our take on it. But remember, it's just our opinion based on us being a consumer of this box. I paid over $300 for this box, so Canadian money. So yeah, I think I'm entitled to. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I found something I really liked, I said so. If I found something that I thought was a piece of crap, I said so, and why. So yeah, so stay tuned. It's not going to be like some of those ones. I've watched a few now since we've opened it. I didn't want spoilers either beforehand, and yeah, some people just go, oh, this is so great. I've always wanted one of these, and oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm glad if it brought them joy. Okay. But also, I don't think a lot of the reviews of it are necessarily honest. I think people are afraid they're going to offend Jenny. Guess what? She never sees your video. No. So, anyways, that's the first section comes out on Friday. Now, I have been asked, are you going to be doing Vlogmas? Vlogmas is where YouTube content creators will put together a series of videos, oftentimes a short video every day up to Christmas Day about something, whatever it is. I don't do them. Now, my friend Russ, he's doing one, and it kind of sounds interesting because he's having a little contest where he's playing like a Wheel of Fortune kind of game as well on his. He just announced all of that today. If you haven't seen the video yet, it's up, and he explains everything that's there. But I'm glad that Russ is that dedicated. I don't have time. I mean, we post 4 videos a week, and they just don't happen. They may look like they just happen.
And if you're making a video every day in December, viewers probably so glad that December 25th comes.
Yeah. So I don't do it, but more power to those that do. If that's they want to do that, then by all means, please do. You do you. But I guess you might say our Vlogmas is the Missouri Star Quilt box, but instead of every day, it's every 5 days. So yeah, so let's call it that. That's our Vlogmas.
Yeah, and we have another Santa sack that we're getting.
Oh yes,
from
I forgot.
Quilter Quilting.
Yes,
and we'll be doing that all at once. I think.
Yeah, that one will be all at once, and that will be on a So Chatty. And by the way, you will find, I'm not putting any links to Friday's video because it's not, for you, it's not up yet. It's there on YouTube, but it's a scheduled event, so it won't go live until 7 a.m. Friday morning, that one. So I'm not putting a link into it, but if you've got the notifications bell turned on, you may get a notification. And if you don't, go into the playlist that says So Chatty, and that's where you'll find it. It'll be clearly marked, so you'll know that it's there. It's not part of a regular So Chatty. It's its own separate video. Okay, so what are people saying here, and who else has come in? We've got Colleen is here. Dana is here from cold Regina. Yeah, I would think. Jenny is here. Jeannie's here. Betty. She's Sari. I'm late. Does that have a fringe on top?
Sorry.
A Siri with a fringe on front.
Sorry.
Or is that, yeah. Dubrovka says, Stephen, I love your honesty. Well, some people are not going to appreciate it. I can tell you that. I'm looking forward to the hate mail, and we will read them out. So, content for a whole Stephen and Walter Live. Heather says, I have a cross-stitch advent box to open from Pastime Pieces in Blenheim, Ohio?
Ontario.
Or Ontario. Oh, Ontario, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, Blenheim. Okay. I know where that is, sort of. Russ says, Vlogmas is both torture and fun. Yeah, you masochist, you. Cynthia's here. Hi, Cynthia. I still have to do my Christmas decorations. Just took down Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving is like for Americans.
Russ has more time because he doesn't have to put up
No,
Christmas
he
decorations.
doesn't. You might want to dust the tree, Russ. I'm just saying it's not snow, okay? But anyways, in some ways, I kind of envy Russ that he leaves his tree up all year, because I hate putting the tree up. Actually, I hate getting it out of the crawl space more than anything else, because
What do you mean the tree? It's like this big.
I know, but the crawl space is about the same height, and I'm a little taller than that. Thank God I'm not 6 feet tall, but I don't see you crawling under there to pull out the Christmas tree. All I hear you is bitch about, hey, put more stuff under there. Yes,
Yeah.
it's called a crawl space. It's for
It
storage.
needs to be cleaned out again.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, you crawl under there and I'll stand at the thing and you just shove it through the hole. Oh, yeah. So anyways, Walter did finish putting up his Christmas lights. I think you finished them, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I still have a porch thing to do.
How many months does it take you to put up Christmas lights?
Well, no, it's not lights. It's just a porch decoration.
One of those. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I have those pine things. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. But anyway,
Oh,
you've
okay.
got your nutcrackers there.
Well, what? You were going to put the... Well, my nutcrackers are staying there.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to put my nutcrackers somewhere else. You keep your hands off my nutcrackers. Yeah, so the nutcrackers are out too. And the kangaroo. And I have some pictures that I'm going to show you today of what the final vision looks like out there. But before we do that, Walter had a Christmas lunch on Monday. So
It was good.
that this is a way, I think we told everybody the week before that you were going to this, but it was a pain in the ass to coordinate it.
Yeah, it was, but it was good. Everybody showed up on time. I didn't even have to send a reminder out. So.
Oh, geez. And you got gift.
Yes, I did.
What did Amy give you?
A W. The chocolate
A
W.
chocolate W. Doesn't she give you that every year?
I don't know. I think so, maybe.
Yeah. And what did she give me?
You got half of my chocolate W.
I haven't had any of it yet.
Yeah, it's in the
So that's
cupboard.
the
You
V?
can have it.
It's
It
the V?
doesn't. It has
Oh, it's
sugar in
got
it.
sugar in it. Yum, yum. Yeah. I made them up a bag of stuff. Well, it wasn't really my idea. It was Walter's. He says, could you maybe put some things together? And I said, well, I've got some extra things that I've been making. I could put in a Santa. What about a dragon? So I had to make 3 dragons. Yeah. Hope they like their dragon. And then one of them says, oh, she'd like a tiger too, because she's going to give the dragon.
But she has 2 grandkids.
Yeah, well, I didn't make them for their grandkids.
No, I know that.
You know,
But the thing is, you made the tiger, but then I have to figure out how to get there. And her husband just had a major operation. I don't know if he's alive.
Oh, well, you can give it later on when the waters are set. Whatever. Well, you said Amy wanted a tiger for other grandchild because Amy is Taiwanese, isn't she? Or
Yeah, she's
Korean?
Taiwan. She's from Taiwan.
Yeah. And so her one grandchild was born under the sign of the dragon, and the other one was born under the sign of the tiger. So she wants.
Well, she married a Caucasian man, and when she had her children, she kept asking us, "Do they look Chinese?" And we'd say, "Well, I don't know. They look sort of maybe." Well, I kept saying, "If you wanted them to look Chinese, you should have married a Chinese man." and so then now she's got grandkids and she keeps saying, "Do my grandkids look Chinese?" And we're going, "No, they don't look Chinese at all. Actually, they don't." Her own kids look a little bit Chinese, but not
much. No. Susan says another YouTuber opened the Missouri Star box 2 weeks ago and posted it. All I can say is that I'm happy I didn't waste $300 Canadian. Yeah, you and I are kind of on the same mindset, except for the fact that I did waste $300 Canadian on it. But that's nasty. That is really nasty. That a YouTuber content creator, they know that people have bought this and, then they put the whole thing up. What's that all about? If they're thinking they're going to attract more subscribers because they did that, I don't think they are. In fact, I think what they're going to do is piss off a lot of subscribers with it because people want to be surprised. That's why we do it.
in a grouping, or other YouTubers will do it as
on the day of. Yeah.
But we post ours after everybody slows. So if other YouTubers are putting up one a day, then we're not stepping on their toes.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Like, why do you have to kill the fun for other people? You know, because quite seriously, there are people, this is the only gift you're going to get at Christmas, and they bought it for themselves. They may live alone, you know, they may not have a lot of family around or anything like that, and this is something special for them, and they probably want to, you know, work it out, like take it as it was intended, as an advent calendar kind of a thing, you know, so they have a little something to look forward to pretty much every day of December. And I think it's very inconsiderate of any YouTuber, content creator who does that, who opens them all up at once. Yes, you can say, well, you don't have to watch them. That's true. You don't. But other people do. And then they start talking about it on Facebook, on certain sites and stuff. And, you know, you have to make a concerted effort not to get, you know, have a spoiler on there. And I think it's inconsiderate. It's inconsiderate at this time of the year, you know, but whatever. Susan says, I thought at first you were going to give me crap for posting this. Oh, no, because you didn't say anything about what was in it. Okay. So I have to give you crap then if you did, because that would be a spoiler. Carolyn says, I'm waiting to watch you two open the Missouri box. No other YouTube videos will do. Or a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only hippopotamus will do. But, okay, so what else here? We're having company next weekend. Yeah, our friends from Toronto, Bill and Mark, are coming for the weekend. We always get together with them about twice a year. One time it's at their place, one time it's at our place. It's our turn to be at our place, and so we decided, well, we'll do it for Christmas. So we're working on the menu. And when I say we, I mean Walter. Well, I write it down. Walter cooks it. And we're not doing anything too terribly exotic. They're just meat and potato boys, you know. So we're having steak. Actually, we're having surf and turf. We're having steak and lobster tails with it. And we will have peppercorn sauce. Those boys will not have any because they do not believe in any kind of sauce on their meat. Personally, I don't like naked meat. I like it covered in sauce. I'm just that way. Now, I do draw the line on ketchup. I wouldn't put ketchup on a steak. That's not true. If it was the only thing available, I might put it on the side. But steak sauce or peppercorn sauce or béarnaise or something like that, yep.
Yeah, we made béarnaise last time and they didn't like that either. So
they don't like sauces. Remember, they took us to that really expensive restaurant, and the place came out with these 3 things, so and they wouldn't touch it. No, they're just meat and potato boys. But the funny part is, one of them, this restaurant we went to, and we did tell this story, he wanted a baked potato. They didn't have baked potatoes on their menu. They had potatoes, but the potatoes were like, well, basically they were scalloped potatoes in a little dish. It was like
a potatoes au gratin.
A gratin, yeah, or scalloped potato, that kind of thing. But they called it something else to make it sound like, ooh, you know, and charge you $20 for it. And so he kept bugging the waiter about baked potato. He wanted a baked potato. He thought he was being funny.
Well, I guess this restaurant, it's an upper scale steakhouse.
Very.
And this
$100.
This was they had an older location, and they had been at the older location, and the older location here, Dauphinois potatoes.
Oh yeah, that's it.
The older location had baked potatoes, and then when they moved to the newer location, I guess they dropped baked potatoes. I guess they figured it was not fancy enough.
Yeah. That's what they were called. Inappropriate quilter. Dauphinois potatoes, but they're just scalloped potatoes.
Yeah, more or less.
With cheese. On them. So we call them scalloped potatoes, but if you want to fancy it up, call it that.
I think that the Dauphinois doesn't have the cream in them or whatever.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look that one up. But anyways.
Yeah, they're done a little different.
So we are having baked potatoes with this. And if you think that I won't make a point of saying, we don't ever have baked potatoes, but you're special. So we are having baked potatoes. We got these potatoes especially for you. They were expensive potatoes. They weren't. And we do have baked potatoes. But I'm going to make fun
Yeah.
because I do these things, you know. But we know them well enough. They know that I'm joking, so they won't take offense to it. Yeah, so they're coming. That'll be nice. So we have to do some shopping this week because we need a few things for that.
We need potatoes.
We need potatoes, yeah. And Walter's you're making pumpkin chiffon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Pie. Your famous pumpkin
Yeah, I'll do it
chiffon
this week.
pie. So yeah. So it'll be fun with them. Faith is here. Hi, Faith. So, okay. So those are things that are coming up and everything like that. So we thought we would share our Christmas decorations with you. So I took a bunch of pictures and we're going to explain. Now, if you're expecting, and it would be a stereotype to think this, if you're expecting that our Christmas decorations are over the top designer things, they're not. But I never have, no, that thing is in the wrong spot. I haven't turned it over to them yet. A lot of my decorations are ones I've made with the 3D printer, or I buy them at the dollar store. And a lot of them I've had for many years around, except this year and last year, I started to clean out a lot of old crap that I never used because it was just getting junky and that. And the thing I'm most proud of, though, of my Christmas decorating is my tree. And you'll see that near the end. But let's start. Here we go. Kitchen table. And I've noticed that when I took that picture,
We have a spot on there.
Where? Yeah, we do have
Yeah.
a spot on the table. That's been there for a while. It's a
Oh, okay.
watermark. I
Yeah.
tried to get it out and I can't get it out. Maybe you could use some of your fancy little stains and do
Yeah, I
that.
can
Like
probably
you
do
were
that.
going to do the front of the cabinet.
Yeah, I haven't done them yet.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed you started seasoning the charcuterie board.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Anyways, so the arrangement that you see there, of course, is fake. And we had a different one on that table that sits there all the time, and it was getting a little ratty. So we bought a new one. We found this one. Where did we get this one at? Winners? Or something like that? I thought it was, or Home Sense.
Home Sense.
Home Sense, yeah. Kind of a deal. But I stuck in some poinsettias, fake ones, of course. I used to always buy a real poinsettia, and yeah, they drop their bloody petals all the time, and you're cleaning up after them. And I don't know. I'm sure that people who are into plants and stuff, there's probably a trick to making the bloody things stick, but you know.
And if you look carefully between the blinds, you can see there a pile of
Oh,
snow
a pile of
the
snow
deck.
on the deck, yeah. And then the table runners one I made a few years ago. It's a Dresden, but it was all done in the hoop. With that one took a while to make. In fact, I made two of them. I made this one in Christmas colors, and I made one that's in blacks and silvers that probably at New Year's or that I will put it out on the dining room table. It's very elegant looking in the black and the silver, and I think this is very festive. I really like this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay, likes that. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, and we're just moving around in the family room and the dining room. Now, this is a new addition. I just made this a few days ago. I didn't know it was going to be this big when I started making it. I thought it was just a small little thing. No, this is quite large. Some assembly required, and I wired up lights, LED lights in the inside of the lantern so they glow. They're battery operated. Actually, it came from the dollar store. It's amazing what you can get at the dollar store. But I think it's kind of cute. It wasn't what I was expecting. And there's another little tree. That little tree, I forgot to put a tea light in that one. That one lights up too. It's hollow in the base. 3D print that I did several years ago, and there's an angel down there too. A lot of the 3D prints that I threw out a pile of 3D prints, actually, Christmas ones, because they were when I first got into 3D printing, and they're like, well, next to the things that I can make now, they're just ugly. looking. Some comments here. Let's see. Joan says, I don't watch the early MSQC openings early either. I'll watch those that open one a day, or I'll do the same and voice my opinion. I hope the box is better than last year. If not, I'm done. And the Inappropriate says, hi, Joan. I don't get the MSQC box, but I still like the daily openings. Okay, so moving around. Okay, so here's a tip, which you probably already know. How to dress up. I like to decorate on top of stuff that's already there, because if I start taking things down, I got to find a place to put them, and then I forget where I put them. I'm kind of like a squirrel looking for his nuts, after they bury them. So wherever I can, I try to dress up what's already there, and that's what I did with the cushions on this couch. I made these covers a few years ago, and I just slip the whole cushion into them. They have an envelope back to them, and it dresses them up. And then, of course, I've got a ton of Christmas quilts. This one's a very pretty one. I always liked this one. I made it, I don't know how many years ago now. It's been a few years since I made that one. That one, I think, is not a pattern. That one, I think I made from scraps of Christmas fabric that I had. I think it's my own sort of design. I don't think that was a pattern. And trying to display them on the furniture, I like to, if I can, square ones work best for this. A little bit more difficult with rectangular ones. I like to fold them points to points, so they're like a triangle, and then you can drape it over the back of the couch, and then the points can come down, and I think it looks kind of nice that way. Okay, on this table, there's one thing here that's always here, and that's the Christmas manor. Lighting's not so good.
Also the lighthouse, right?
And the lighthouse is always there. Yeah. The very first one of these structures that I ever made was this one, the Christmas house, and it lights up at night. Unfortunately, at the time that I made it, I didn't realize the lights I put in it, the LED strips, weren't that bright, so it doesn't have as much light to it as I would like, because the Christmas tree all lights up and the windows and everything like that. It still has a bit of a glow to it, but it'd be nicer to have. Now, I could possibly restring the lights because the roof comes off, so you can get at the lights, but it's a bit fiddly, so I just leave it for now. The snowman, too, it was done. It's a 3D in the hoop applique project, and you put it all together, the parts and everything like that, and we explained how you do those.
3D applique project that was done on the embroidery machine.
Yeah. And then beside it, just for fun, the candy bowl, the bottom half of this of the Grinch. I thought that was funny, so that's why it's there. I like to put a little humor into my Christmas decorations too. Now, Carol says the centers of real poinsettias shoot out sticky black bits. My grandma's hardwood floor had permanent black stains because she put a large poinsettia in the same spot every year. I didn't know that. I've never really noticed that, but I know the leaves, the petals
The leaves
drop
always
off.
drop off.
Yeah, and it all goes crispy crunch on you. Thank you, idiot or inappropriate quilter. Joan says, hi, Zara. Oh, that's Zara. That's right. I was trying to remember who that. Zara, yeah. The MSQC box would cost a lot of dollars for you for sure. This will be the third box I've received. Yeah, it's my third box as well. So moving on, the other couch in the same room, same treatment with the cushions, and then another quilt. Now, this quilt was a Chelsea Stratton design quilt, like the one that I showed there a week ago when I finished the top for it. I really like this design, and this one was a fun one to make too. Do you like that quilt?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
nice.
likes that quilt. I never know. You gotta ask them.
I can tell. I'm more apt to tell you which quilts I don't like.
Yeah, I know. I'm not giving you the chance. So on this table, now, okay, this is a little bit of, when I said I don't take things down, that's the haunted house, the haunted manor. It sits there all year. It lights up at night. I just put another candy bowl that's the bottom of Santa next to it. And that's all I did in that spot right there. And by the way, our floor lamp or our table lamps, you can't see them very well, but there's some poinsettias, fake ones, clipped to the shade up there. And the shades turn color. They're hue lights. And generally, we have it on a color loop, so they fade in and fade out several colors. But there's a setting for Christmas where it's just red and greens that come up. So doesn't show up well in this picture, but that's what those do. Now, I'm very happy with this. This is on our coffee table in the room. The table centerpiece that's there, the table topper, that's one that was done in the hoop as well. And then you sewed the pieces together. You can't see it all very well there, but it's a nice little table topper. But all of the houses, the gingerbread houses and the windmill and everything, all of those are done in the hoop, just like the snowman and the lighthouse are as well. And they do take some time to make. And I wanted to add another house to the collection this year, but they're expensive. They come from OESD and they're like $41.95 American for one house. So for Canadian, that's over $60. And they take a long time to make. And I just thought, I don't really have the time to make it this year. And I was hoping that would go on sale. It might yet when we get closer to Christmas, but it's expensive, but I love them. And then I've got the sleigh and the reindeer. That's also an in the hoop applique project. And the trees are as well, the brown trees. But then I've interspersed in there some of my 3D printed trees. This was this year's design, and they come out all like crinkly. In fact, they look more like fake, trees. Well, they are fake trees, but like out of fabric or that. And they're not. They're all plastic. But so much nicer than like that first tree that I showed you that's got like straight sides. It's more geometrical in the whole bit. So this is what I mean. 3D printing has come a long way since I started doing it. And I like to string those little fairy lights in amongst there too to give it a glow. They're battery operated, of course. So I wish they were a kind of a timer type. But I can never seem to find those types of lights that are timer. Like some are timers, they have remote control, but they have like a 6, 8, or 12-hour kind of thing on them, and they don't. You've got to get them started. You have to hit. If you want them to go on for 6 hours, you've got to decide like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I need to hit that button so that they'll turn off 6 hours later, which would be 10 o'clock at night, and hopefully they'll come on but then they come on 6 hours later from that. So that puts them at, I guess I would put them at 6 a.m. Yeah. No. Put it at 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
Oh, okay.
See, and and then they go off again. So it's a pain in the butt. I'm sure there's something else I could get.
That's strange because I had lights like that, the battery operated ones on the front porch, and they gave you a choice of when they came on and when they came off, and it was like a reasonable amount, like every 12 hours.
Well, no, these are cheap.
Well, the ones on the porch were cheap too.
They come from the dollar store.
Yeah, that's where I got them from.
Well, okay. Well, I didn't see any like that, so fine. I stand corrected. Maybe I'll look some more. Anyways, so I have to remember to turn them on at night. And I like to hide the little wires with them by throwing I love plastic garland. I'm a plastic garland freak. I know it's not the real stuff. Well, guess what? I don't have to water it. I pack it in a box at the end of the year. I'm happy with that. So that's my so what I was doing is little vignettes, little staging areas around the house where I create a little scene kind of idea, sort of. So, speaking of a little scene, so here we are in the dining room. Now, that tray I made last year, I want to use the dining room table. if we have people over, like we're having our friends from Toronto over next weekend, so we're going to be using this table. And I thought I'd be using this table on Christmas Day, but our plans have changed. We'll talk about that. So I don't want to put a whole lot of little things on the table and then have to pick them all up and rearrange them when I put it all back together again. So I decided, why not put all those little things and glue gun them to a tray? Because, you know, one of my favorite tools is a glue gun. So that's what I did.
Sort of like the Russ way of decorating.
I don't leave it out all year.
No, but you just pull the whole thing off and stick it somewhere.
I'm good with that. But and then the two candles are just battery operated candles, and they sit somewhere all year round, but not with these candle rings. And the table runner I made, again, I don't know when I made that, but I did at some point in time, and it's long enough for this table. So, and it's got prairie points. I think I'm not a fan of prairie points, but for some reason this one called for that. Now, if you look, now here's a Russ. Everybody sees the little village behind and go, "Oh, your Christmas village is up. It's so darling." Yeah, and they say that in July because I don't take that down. That stays up all year round. And yes, I like to call that snow that's on it. I occasionally go by it and give it a little blow, like a kind of thing, because you can't dust it. Now there have been times, like once a year, I would take it all apart. I wash everything and dry it well and clean up the dust and all that stuff. Yeah, I haven't done that in probably many years. Now it's really not, actually, it's really not that dusty at all. It's not like dusty, run your finger in it and write your name kind of dust. Is your tree like that, Russ? But also, and you can't see it in this picture, but there are things in there that are not part of a Christmas village. We look for little tiny miniature things for every place we go to in the world, and we add it to this setting. So if you were to be in the dining room and look at it, you would notice that there's probably an Eiffel Tower in there.
Yeah,
There's a Sphinx.
There's a very visible Las Vegas sign.
I love my cheap Las Vegas sign. We bought it in Las Vegas, and at night, this whole thing lights up automatically at night, and the Las Vegas sign lights up and flashes too. We've had that for quite a few years now. I bought it in Las Vegas, and it's kind of tacky, but the Las Vegas sign is tacky, and it's what it's all about. So yeah. But you'll find things there. There's a Leaning Tower of Pisa in there. There's a trolley from San Francisco. There is a Greek, one of those Greek houses that are blue and white, from Mykonos, kind of a thing. There is all kinds of things from all the way. There's even a piece of the Great Wall of China in there as well. All places that we've been to are there.
There's Little Opera House.
Little Opera House from the Sydney Opera House. There's a pyramid. And I think there's a Sphinx in there too. There is the gates to Luna Park in Sydney as well. Luna Park is a famous amusement park there. We've been to it. There's not much happening in it these days anymore, but it was a going thing, I guess, at one time in its heyday. So yeah. But that stays up all year round. That does not go anywhere. Let's see. People. Betty loves the table runner. And Russ says, my tree is dust free. Thank you very much. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Sure it is. Okay. So there's a little bit of a closer picture of what I'm talking about, of the little village. There is a hippopotamus. Why? Where did I get that hippopotamus? I bought it. Was that from the Sydney Zoo, or was that...
Or is that the soapstone thing you got from?
Oh, that was a soapstone thing, yeah. Where did I get it?
We got it out here in Canada, and that was the that museum we went to.
The... McMichael collection?
No, we went to the outdoor museum out by Belleville.
That one with all the sculptures, the
Yeah.
native sculptures. Yeah, that's right. That's where I bought that.
Yeah,
So,
Luna Park's in the right hand side. There's
a Beefeater from
CN Tower
England.
there. There's a windmill. There's a Beefeater.
That big church in Barcelona,
The Sagrada Familia or
yeah,
whatever.
uh,
There's a Big Ben in there.
there's the tower from St. Mark's Square in Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole treasure trove of things. There's even something from Thailand back in there. Yeah, wherever we've been, we try to get a little miniature and we add it to this display. Okay. All right. Now we're into the formal living room, and this is our fireplace that's there. And again, you can see some in the hoop creations. We have the angels. All of those are in the hoop kind of things. The nutcrackers are there too. Actually, you made one and I made one.
No, I made both of them.
Did you make both of them? I
Yeah.
thought I made one.
No.
Fine. Whatever. I was going to say, well, one of them leans.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
because you stuffed them in the box the wrong way.
Yeah, right. Stuff your nutcracker in a box. The banner, I made that banner 1 year as well. Just, to dress it up. And of course, I have some of my infamous plastic garland. And there are lights there. They're subtle, but they give off a little colored glow and they change colors and that. Again, they're battery operated. I have to turn them on myself when I want to use them. The thing is, they don't get turned on that much because we don't use this room that much. The couch in the room. Hello, the 90s called. They want it back. They want this whole room back, actually. But they have another one of my quilts. And there is another quilt in there as well that I put on the... Did I put a quilt on the love seat?
I don't know.
I may have missed it. I don't know. Anyways, this is going down to our front door from the dining room. And these long... They could be table runners or banners, whatever. I use them kind of as banners. And the mouse and the nutcracker, they were both in the hoop projects as well. The Christmas wreath that's there, which is getting a little ratty, but I will not throw it out. I made that when we were in the old house. And I made it from wine corks in there. And it goes up every year, and it goes in that spot every year. So that's over 30 years ago that I made that. I've always liked it, though it's getting a little bit beaten up, but okay. Oops, wrong way. And another one of those banners kind of a thing, or table runner. It could be either. And Santa, of course, the same idea in the hoop. And another quilt on the deacon's bench, another in the hoop project, the Christmas tree. And I decided this year, I bought this on a whim. I don't know where I bought it, and we've had it for a long time. It's Homer Simpson, but it's got batteries. So when you push the button at his feet, he says one of, do, or donut, or makes some other kind of Homer Simpson kind of expression. I've never put him up here on that table. Usually that bouquet of red flowers that really we need to replace, because they're getting a little,
because they're a little dusty
and fading.
Like Russ's Christmas.
Yeah, not that bad. But for now, they just sit there on the floor in there because it adds a little bit of red in the corner. Another in the hoop project that I did. I don't know if I did this last year or the year before, just a small one, hangs on the door into the mud room. Now, usually, the last few years, I have quilts hanging on the wall all the way down the stairs on the opposite from the gnome. And I decided not to hang any quilts up there this year. I didn't want to take the other ones down. So I'm draping the quilts on furniture. But this one had to go up. I had this behind the Christmas tree last year, kind of thing, where you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. And I love this. This is a Tracy Perks pattern. It's all done with 2-inch squares. The whole thing is done that way. It's kind of reminiscent of doing an Art East project because of a lot of cutting, but it's so easy to put together once you've got all the pieces cut, because she provides you with a grid and you see exactly where all the pieces have to go. Actually, he has Mrs. They call it a Tomty, and there's a Mrs. Tomty, and I've not done her. I was going to do her so I'd have matching set, but I've never got around to it. Now on the door into our rec room downstairs, I have this very modern looking piece, and below it the cardinals. You've seen the cardinals. I showed them. That was what they call that. That's thread painting, but done in the hoop. This of course is another one. This one is, I don't think this is a Tracy Perks. It's got the same styling, but I don't think it was Tracy Perks. It was another company, but it's got a lot of curves in it. But it wasn't hard to do, and it's got a very modern look to it. Oops. Then, you know me and gnomes. I couldn't resist when I saw this panel, so this was just a little quickie thing, and I quilted it. It didn't take long to make, but it fits in that spot very nicely. And this is what to do with your fabric scraps. You can make a Christmas wreath. And, you know, you buy a few dollar store little thingies and stick it to it. You just tie strips of leftover fabric together around a bent out coat hanger. That one got a little bit squished. Yeah, in the box. So it's a squishy version of it. These two wreaths, I think I made those too. I bought the form and then everything that's on them is dollar store. And they're getting a little bit ratty looking. Memories. These Christmas trees, this one's a candle, never burned it. And this one is one I bought somewhere, probably at a craft market. I've had them for years. I don't know where they came from, but I keep pulling them out. I almost thought about throwing them away this year, but I couldn't. And this I made this year. The Mr. and Mrs. Claus there kind of a thing. Now, this table sits behind the couch. It's a couch table or whatever they call it, console. And there's some 3D printed, very kind of abstract-y Christmas trees here. I like the colors. The filament that I used turned out well. And then there's little bits and pieces that I've had. I don't know where I've picked them up. Kind of a sad Christmas tree here. I think that was made by somebody at a craft market, craft fair. Well, no, I made it. No, I made it. That was, it's gotten a little squished over time. Oh, you may be wondering about the shoes. Okay, when I was in my paper crafting days, I got this idea to get shoes, high heels, from the local Value Village and to do things with them with paint and a glue gun and beads and stuff like that. So those are my drag queen shoes. Kind of a thing. They sit there all year round, but they're pretty. Okay, this wreath. If you know Rebecca Robson, she has a YouTube channel. She's an interior decorator and she decorates for very rich people. She does like $1 million homes, and every year she puts out a series of videos of her Christmas decorating her own house. And it is over the top. It's beautiful, but it's way over the top what she does. Well, one year, and this is many years ago, she had a video, and it's still up there somewhere on YouTube, on how to make this wreath using pages out of a book. And you tea dye them, kind of a thing, the pages, and then you roll them into little cones and you staple gun them to a foam board and go around in layers and then stick something in the center and you've got a wreath. I've had it for a long time. It's a bit fragile. It's getting a little ratty, but I still love it. And I cheat it. I didn't use tea to dye it. I use something called walnut spray, which if you're a paper crafter, you probably know what that is. It's basically a powder. You put it, mix it with water, put it in a little spray bottle, and I just sprayed them and let them dry. It was very, very easy to do, but I put it up there every year, and you can see there's something hanging below it. Well, that's a banner I made from my own artwork that I printed onto fabric, and it hangs there all year round, but I didn't take it down. I just put the reef over top of it. Yeah. And I think that looks kind of good with it. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. High praise. Okay. This is a point of contention with Walter. I used to have, but I threw it out this year, I used to have a great big huge light up garland that draped across in front of the TV set. The problem was the eye for the TV, for the remote control, got hidden behind that, and you had to go up to the TV set with it and kind of pull down the garland to get it to work. And Walter would bitch about it all the time. So I got rid of it this year because we'd had a long time, and it was one of those ones that's got those little pieces of green pieces on it that fall off on your carpet all the time, the fake needles, and you're constantly sucking them up. So I got rid of it, and I have one of those plastic garlands, and I just stick fake poinsettias into it. And I was very happy with it because the Apple TV box is not covered up. But Walter says, we haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, but it still covers the eye on the TV set to turn it on.
Well, you'll just have to get your ass off the couch and turn it on for me. I don't know. On either side of this, the Hallmark card stores, every year had one of these mechanical things or electronic things that played a little song, and the little penguin shakes a little bell and the snowman sort of moves, and that. They're kind of cute. My mother used to buy them. Oh, there goes the snowplow.
Oh,
But guess what? You've got now things in the driveway, and he's probably giggling. So, I've got one. My mother had several. I don't know what they must have. I didn't get them. My sister must have taken them at one point in time. But I put them out every year. And in this part over here, I just made this little Merry Christmas kind of Ferris wheel, 3D printed. I thought it was kind of cute. And I did show that on my vlog. Here with this chair, you can see another one of these cushion covers that I made at one time. It just goes over top of the, oops, where am I going? Go this way. And then go this way. There we go. So you see the chair. There's another couple of my quilts on Christmas quilts on the chair. And then the big ones, the blue one with Santa and the deer, that's all thread painting.
Yeah, that's a tiling scene
Yeah.
from OSD.
It takes a long time because I think that one's got 32 tiles that you make, and then you have to sew them all together and line them all up. And it's totally thread. There is no applique, but they're gorgeous. They're really worth the effort, but not something you're going to make the week before Christmas. You need to start early on them because each one of those tiles takes several hours and it takes a lot of thread. And the other thing was actually a panel, and I decided to cut it up and make it into an attic window treatment. So it looks like, you're looking out the window at Santa. The wreath over top of the fireplace, that one we bought at somewhere. And more dollar store things. The snowflakes are dollar store. And more of my plastic garland and my fake poinsettias. And these are the two socks I was talking about. We bought those some time ago.
I don't think they were dollar store.
No,
they
I think
might have
they've
been
been-
Zellers or something.
Yeah, they could have been Zellers or whatever at the time. They're cute. They're fun. We used to have a third one. That was Kitty's. We don't put that up anymore. But Kitty had her own sock. And over here, another one of my runners on the ottoman. And Augie Doggy. I call him Augie Doggy. I bought him years ago. He's musical. You squeeze his paw and he plays 3 different short little Christmas carols. I've had him forever. Now, I thought I bought him at What
You
place
bought
called
them. You bought them
Woco.
at Zellers.
But you say I bought them at Zellers.
Yeah, I remember you buying it at Zellers
But when did I buy it? Did I
a
have them?
long time ago.
Did I have them in the old house?
I think you had them in the apartment.
Oh God, I've had him for almost 40 years. Then, holy shit, he's old. He still works. The two little things here, these two little stuffies, they usually sit over here on this chair. They're Australian. I made those. Actually, they were done in the embroidery hoop too. Oops, I keep going the wrong way. Okay, ceramic Christmas tree. This was either my mother's or my grandmother's. My grandmother had one and my mother had one. And my sister has one of them. Well, no, she did have it. She doesn't.
And she got rid of it, right?
She got rid of it. So I put it out every year. And whether it was my mother's or my grandmother's doesn't matter. It lights up. It's cute. It's nice. My sister contacted me back a month or so, a couple of months ago. And she says, do you have one of those ceramic Christmas trees? And I says, yes, I do. She says, well, I said, don't you have one? She says, no, I got rid of it. But I was thinking that maybe Taylor is my nephew's girlfriend, might like it. Are you using it? Yes, I am. And no, you're not getting it. I mean, why would I give something that is, well, not really an heirloom, but it was my grandmother's or my mother's? Why would I give it to you to give to a girlfriend of your son's? I mean,
She's obviously trying to get into her good books.
I mean, it's not like they're married to each other.
No.
You know, I might have considered, if that was the case, I might have considered it. But no, I'm keeping it. And the little trees that are all around it, all done 3D printer as well. Let's see. What are people saying here? Russ says Curvy Santa is from So Kind of Wonderful. Yeah, you're right. Russ. Of course you're right, Russ. Candace says So Kind of Wonderful with curve ruler. Yes, that's right. I had to buy a special ruler to do that. Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. Barb says, back in the 70s, 80s, we seemed to spray paint a lot of wreaths in silver or gold. Yeah, that's true. Cheryl is here. My daughter inherited my mother-in-law's ceramic tree. She loves it. Yeah, they were a thing back in,
I think I saw
70s,
one
80s?
in the store not too long ago.
Yeah. Barb says everybody has a ceramic tree. Yeah, I know, because they were a thing at one point in time. But I hang on to it, not because I absolutely think it's the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my life, far from it. But it's because it belonged to either my grandmother or my mother. So, you know, and sometimes with Christmas decorations, you hang on to them because of the nostalgia. Okay, so here you get another look of kind of the whole room. The quilts. This year, that's what I decided to do with the quilts. I put them over the cushions of the sectional, and I tucked them in to the cushions below to keep them straight. Mind you, after Christmas Day with everybody sitting on them, who knows what they'll be like. And we'll come to my tree. I think my sister made this, didn't she?
I don't know.
Or did she? I didn't buy it. I think
Okay.
my sister made it.
Oh.
She took some kind of class or something and made it. It's got a chip out of it because it's kind of hollow. I think it dropped at one point. Oops. Okay. Christmas tree. This is my favorite thing. It takes a while to decorate it. This is the base of the tree. Now, those of you that know, yes, that is the Christmas tree skirt that took me 3 years to finish. It was another In the Hoop project. But I did finish it finally. And this is its premiere. First year it's underneath the tree. The train is another In the Hoop project, 3-dimensional applique project. It got a little squished in the box on there, so that kind of thing. I used to have it upstairs on the round table, but I thought this year, you know, a tree with a Christmas with a train, you know, they go together. So the base of the tree is here. This lights up. It's on top of a string of lights, It looks really pretty when it's lit up. It's hard to show in this picture. I think I have another picture here. Yeah, that is with it lit up, and the tree too. But just go back to that. How I did this was I had these beads, these chunky beads, and I went around. It was a very long strand, actually 2 strands. And I go around the base of the tree and come out from the base and onto, a foot away from the base of the tree, or 10 inches, something like that. And I loop them around. So it sort of creates a surface. And then I put balls, Christmas balls, just cheap ones. I put those in top of it, and the beads keep the balls from rolling off. And then I've got another layer, and you can't see it in this picture very well, but there's like another set of plastic bulbs, but they're not bulbs, they're like cones. And I put them in like shards. They kind of remind you of shards of ice. And then on top of that, and I love picks. I bought a whole lot of picks a couple of years ago for the tree. And if you don't know what picks are, they're great. You'll see them up in the tree a little bit further. They're meant to stick into the bare spots in your Christmas tree, and you just stick them in. And they really fill out your tree. But I did all of those in a couple of layers too. So you have this effect that I think looks really cool when the lights turn on, because the balls all reflect the light and they're buried underneath and come up to it. The tree itself, it was a pre-lit tree, and it was already flocked. It's kind of a curse, because when you're putting all the other decorations on, the flocking starts to flock off, and you're sitting there sucking up flock for a year. But the balls that are on this tree, most of them are antique balls, because they were Walter's mother's balls. Yeah. Your mother had balls.
And they came from Europe, actually.
They are glass. So
and they do break.
Oh, they will. And if they even drop down and hit the carpet, they will break. Ask me how I know. So I did that. I put ribbon in my tree as well. I have 2 kinds of ribbon that run through the tree and come down from the angel on top of it all. And then you can see the picks. It looks better in real life because you can pick it out, but you see those little white balls and things, and there's some that look like little pine cones and other things. Those are picks, and they fill it out. I really like my tree, if I say so myself.
It looks very nice.
And when it's lit up at night, it looks gorgeous. So you're going to say, but you can't get presents underneath it. No, you can't, but we don't give presents. However, the chairs that sit there, now, this is the alcove that you heard me talking about, that I was talking about putting up curtain rods, taking down the big clock behind the tree and those 2 picture frames and putting up curtain rods to make into a quilt wall. We may still do that. Obviously, it's not going to get done before Christmas Day when everybody is here, because my carpenter is on holidays with that, and he's still not sure if it's a good idea. I will concede that the clock can stay, but I still think that we could have 3 rods spaced on those 2 walls on the outside, and I think it would look quite nice with the quilts. So for now, I have other quilts and smaller pieces draped over the chairs. This is a bistro table. When we redid the rec room, we had this alcove in there. Used to have my mini gym in that alcove, but we got rid of all of that, and we needed something in there, and we saw this table, and it's got high top chairs, and we don't really use it, but
no, but it is handy at times.
Yeah, at times. Well, if you have people over, I often use that table, and other times of the year when there's not a Christmas tree on it, as to put out, the drinks and things, or hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. I have a lot of extra chairs around this area because I have my mother's dining room table, which basically has grow lights on it right now. And these are the chairs for it, which are now going to come in very handy. The idea was that someday, one of her kids would finally move out of the house and they might need a dining room table. Yeah, that's not happening. Okay, here's Walter's outdoor decorations. This is the kangaroo with Santa. It's kind of rude. And sometimes, depending on the way the wind blows, it gets even ruder. And I'm not going to explain why it's rude, but you might get it. Look at the look on Santa's face. I mean, and the kangaroo, oh my God, get this guy in the red suit off my back. And Walter's got Candyland happening. His new addition this year. He had the candy canes. We've had those for several years. And they all light up, but you bought the candies. because Crappy Tire had a sale. So, and it looks really nice at night. You can see one of my giant nut crackers that I made. There's another one on the opposite side. I think there is a picture. Yeah, there's Walter looking over his display. Oh, I hadn't put out the nut crackers yet. And you hadn't put out the candy canes yet either.
That was a great picture of me.
Yeah, it is. Look at your look on your face like, this needs something else. Should I put out the candy canes? And I said, you got them, put them.
I've got grump face on there.
And you still have things. Are you putting out pots on here
Yeah,
with the greenery?
I have to do that, yeah.
God, this has been a project in the making for a while. And there's lights on the house too, but I don't have a picture of it. I'll take picture of it. Here's a close-up of the candies. They're fun. Yeah. So those are this year's Christmas decorations. And as I said, every year, I never put anything much in the same spot. I go through it and decide where it's going to go. Mainly because I don't remember. I'd have to go to these pictures to remember it. And I should do that. Let's see here. Barb says your tree is beautiful. Thank you. And Betty likes the tree too. And Jean says, I love the idea of the 3 rods. Do it. Cheryl says Santa looks happy. Yeah, haha. And Jean says, haha, nasty yard. Yeah. True. Although the next door neighbors, they haven't got it up yet, have they?
What?
Their rude penguin.
Yeah, I don't know. That one had a hole in it last year, so I don't know if they're putting it up.
Yeah, they had
a penguin that had a rod in a certain... penguin had a fishing rod that was in a certain position.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't take a lot of imagination to... Is that a... Oh no. It's
and some days the rod was up high, and some days the rod...
Yeah, it was kind of a rude thing. So... This year we're of course we have the Christmas dinner business, and I was telling you that I could have a lot of people. Well, I thought we were only going to have, counting Walter and I, 10 people at the most. Or was it 8? Let's see. 5, 7. No, it would have only been 7 and 2. Yeah, 10. We found out from Dave, from Walter's sister, that his nephew and his family, which is his wife and our 2 great nieces as well, they're going to come too. We were told before they probably won't be available because Ken, his nephew, likes to do something with the girls on Christmas Day. They always have something planned and whatnot. That's fine, but that means I can't get everybody upstairs, but I have it worked out. I did some measurements. I have folding tables. I just ordered a couple of really huge tablecloths for them and everything. We're going to do it. And we're going to have everything down in the rec room. And we're going to make it so there's a minimum of running up and down stairs. Because that's the worst part of it. I am sore for 3 days later up and down the stairs.
Good exercise.
Yeah, screw off on that one. So we're going to do it downstairs. Yeah, I can get everybody down around the table setup that I'm going to use. And so that will work. We haven't had this many people in the house in ages. So, yeah. So that's how Christmas Day is going to work for us this year. We should have gone away. What were we thinking? So anyways, yeah, that's going to be Christmas this year. Okay, anything else? Just out of curiosity, do people, when they decorate, do you use the same decorations every year? Like things from the past, your kids made something in school. My mother used to keep them. We used to make those paper chains in school. And for years, those went on the Christmas tree because we had made them, but they got, over time they disintegrate and stuff. Some people, though, don't. They get rid of their Christmas decorations at the end of the season and start over the next year because they do a theme. Now, I have been known to do a theme. I have done a gold and silver tree before when we used to have a full-size tree and did all of that and bought, all the stuff to go with it and everything, a designer tree. I don't do that now. I make the tree. My tree is sort of designer, but I have all that stuff. I don't buy new. And when I do buy stuff, I don't buy expensive stuff because I don't want to spend an arm and a leg on something that comes out once a year. You can get a lot of nice stuff at the dollar store. And with a 3D printer, you can make nice stuff too. So I don't get into that kind of thing. I don't really. I have some gifts or some decorations that are sort of like the ceramic Christmas tree and that are sort of traditional, that are been around for years, like Augie Doggy, that kind of thing, and the quilts, of course, are starting to become those things around the years too. And Walter's balls, his mother's balls, the antique balls, and that kind of thing. But I know some people like to do the traditional because it's memories. But I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, so all new to me every year. Pull it out and go, oh, when did I get that? I didn't know I had that. Yeah. And I know some people don't even bother to do much decorating as they get older at Christmas. And actually, I had cut down until I got the 3D printer. At one point, I was only doing the rec room. Now I do the upstairs, and I have a couple of things I didn't show you in our guest bathroom down here that I 3D printed. The soap sleeve, the hoe, toilet. I just made that today. It says it holds one spare roll of toilet paper, and that becomes the O, and then there's a big H. It's in red and it says hoe. You could have two and do ho-ho, but it sits on the back of the toilet tank. Yeah, it's kind of fun with that. But, I like making the stuff, but then you get so much of it. What do you do with it? I mean, I did throw out stuff this year, and I threw out stuff last year too. And last year, I wasn't even going to bother putting up the tree because we knew we were going to Dahlonega again, and we weren't even going to be here on Christmas Day. And it's not like we have a lot of people over at Christmas, like nobody. So I thought, no, but then I thought, I can't do that. It's Christmas. Got to have something up there. So, but I do know that some people just don't bother because they may be on their own. They may not have family. They're older.
Going away.
They could be going away. So, yeah, that kind of thing. Let's see. So Dubrovka says, beautiful decorations. That's a lot of work. You're so talented, Stephen. Oh, thank you. I do it over time. And in fact, I'm going to talk about that on Idiot Quilter. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes on Idiot Quilter this week of how I organize the Christmas decorations for everything. Let's see. Catching up. Oh, Colleen loves your swirly candy cane lights. And so does Mona. Wish there was a Canadian Tire nearby, she says.
Actually, I bought those at Costco.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, you got them at Costco?
Yeah, I did.
What? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you got them at Canadian Tire.
No, candy canes they got at Canadian Tire.
Yeah. Cheryl says, I keep putting up less every year. I don't usually do a theme anymore. And Susan says, we're going to my brother's for Christmas. My mom's 88th birthday. There'll be 50 family members going. Okay, having it catered. That's a lot of people. Jean E says, I have a small tree that I only put my Lennox Yearly Moose collection. They put out a new one since 2002. And Carol says, I use the same decorations. Many were gifts to me from my family, or they are items that were used in my house when I was a kid. Some belonged to my dad when he was young. Yeah, those are kind of things you keep because they're heirlooms. Denise says, hi, Denise. Why can't some of the adults help carry food up and down the stairs? Save your back some. Yeah, you don't know my family. Some of them can barely get up and down stairs. See the size of them with it. And you want to know something? I mean, my sister would help out with that. And
yeah, people will help out, but it's a
pain in the butt because they're under your feet. I go into
we go into cleanup mode
and go, this goes here, this goes there, this got to go here, this got to go this.
Yeah, we know where the stuff goes too. So
yeah. Let's see. Susan says, I have really cut down in decorating. And some years I have a hard time even putting up my tree. I like you don't have anyone that comes for Christmas. Yeah. But you don't know something? Christmas can be depressing, and and for a lot of people, because there's a sense of being alone and all that kind of stuff. So I think even if you put up a simple little tree, if you get a pre-lit little mini tree and put put some ribbon on it or some garland and something, it's something. I think it lifts your spirits a little bit. Helen says, "Hi, Helen. Your house is beautiful. Also, the decorations. I love your quilts." Well, thank you, Helen. Last Century called. They want the house back in terms of decor. We are going to do something about that. It's just right now we're traveling so a lot. Like Japan's coming up. So after we come back from Japan, we're
looking at it more seriously.
We're going to do some serious thinking anyways about it. Laurel's here. Hi, Laurel. Lovely decorations. Thanks for the inspiration. No problem. Barb says, set up the food like a banquet. Have some people soon say, oh, we are doing that. It will be buffet. Yeah, for sure. So anyways, we'll live through it. It'll be fun. I'll be tired and I'll be sore. I just know it's going to happen because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And there's always Walter to help, except he's busy cooking everything. So, and we'll do that.
And we actually do a lot of the cooking the day before anyway. So
yeah, we'll get through it all. It'll be fun. I'll just keep drinking wine. Then I won't care about anything. Oh, fall up the stairs. Okay. So I hope that we didn't bore you to tears with our Christmas decorations and stuff like that. But, you put this work into it, you want to show it off. I mean, there are other ones out there on YouTube that would just blow you away. And then you look at your own Christmas decorations and you go, what was I thinking? Yuck, get out a green garbage bag, pack it up, start over. But the secret to that is don't watch those videos. Then you don't know. So, okay, so next week we have lots of videos coming up. And of course, don't forget, Friday, December the 5th, 7 a.m., we release the first 5 openings of the Missouri Star Quilt box, and it'll have our takes on it. It's going to generate hate mail. I just know it is. But anyways, we have broad shoulders. We can take it. Okay, everybody, have a great week, and we'll see you later.